to another episode of Going All In, Get the Edge You Need to Succeed. I'm Dr. Erin McKinley, and today we have another awesome spotlight session with Kimberly Powell and Lisa Best from North Carolina Central University and their various options for supervised practice based in Durham, North Carolina. All right, welcome to the podcast, Kimberly and Lisa. To get us started for this episode, I would love for each of you to give us a quick introduction to you, your journey to RD, and how you landed in your positions with North Carolina Central.
So I'm Dr. Kimberly Powell. I did my undergrad at Cornell University and actually was kind of in biology and was kind of not enjoying the plant sciences and really liked more the focus on human sciences. And found my way into nutrition, which I was also a competitive swimmer there where a lot of my fellow athletes were, and I just loved it. So I was at the program there and did my master's at Columbia, and then went on to do my internship in California, where I'm from, it's the University Centers for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities in Los Angeles, and rotated around the Children's Hospitals, Los Angeles. So my specialty is in pediatric nutrition, and particularly in inborn errors of metabolism. So my clinical focus has been working in medical genetics. After I got my PhD at UNC Chapel Hill in maternal and child health, a subset of public health with a specialization with children with special healthcare needs. And then I did my postdoc at the Center for Disease Control's Developmental Disabilities branch. After that, I came over to North Carolina Central University and have been an online professor in the master's program for the past 6 years. And a couple years ago, took over directing the Dietetic Internship program. And I'm now starting the future education model at our university. We will be a demonstration site.
And I am Lisa Best, and nutrition was a second career for me. I was in finance, business, financial planning, investment advisory work, stock market for my first half of the career. But integrative and functional nutrition has been an avocation for my entire life. So I had a life path change and went back to school and got 3 more degrees in nutrition. And I proudly announced that I'm alumni of North Carolina Central University. I did my second undergraduate degree and my master's at NC Central and my internship. And I loved being at the school so much that I felt like I needed to contribute, give back to the community. And so I became a professor there 3 years ago of clinical nutrition, and then also was the faculty preceptor. So it's my job to make sure that the interns get the sites that they want and get the greatest experience they can possibly have at their dietetic internship program. My love is integrative and functional. I also practice and work with patients in integrative and functional nutrition, and that's my area of specialty.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you both for being here. I'm going to let you jump right into giving us a little presentation about your program.
Fantastic, thank you. So we are North Carolina Central University. We are starting our future education model. We were just recently approved by ASCEND. We're very excited, and in fact are going through the just getting everything situated at our university. So North Carolina Central University is part of the University of North Carolina school system. We're located in Durham, North Carolina, which is the city of medicine, and we're in the Research Triangle, which encompasses this whole area. We have a lot of universities nearby and a lot of medical facilities and a lot of research. So it's a fantastic place to work and to train. We're consistently ranked as the top HBCU and best regional university in the South by U.S. News and World Report. And the area is just known for just great community, culture, food. It's just a great mix of city and outdoors. There's plenty of, hiking and outdoor spaces easily accessible here. So it's a fantastic place to live along with great weather. So we are housed in the College of Health and Sciences, and you can see here our dean, Dr. Laverne Reed. We're in the Department of Human Sciences. Our chair is Dr. Darlene Eberhardt-Burke, And you have met myself. I'm the director of the Future Education Model, and our faculty preceptor, Lisa Best. So we have had a dietetic internship program since 1997. It's a graduate certificate program. It has been a very successful program, but as we have moved towards 2024, when the masters will be required to sit for the RDN exam, we have moved towards utilizing this new future education model and to be a demonstration site. So in fact, we will close our internship program after the 2022 to 2023 cohort and fully run under the future education model. We've also had a master's in family and consumer sciences with the nutritional science concentration. We've had that degree for about 10 years. It has worked great in coexisting with our dietetic internship program. So a lot of our interns will go straight in a reduced time track to finish their master's. We have lots of other tracks where we have an RD track where registered dietitians come in, as well as other dietetic interns at other institutions, and we don't make them redo their internship activities. So we give them 6 credits. So it reduces their time, and we have a general track. So these 2 programs have been in place for a long time. And so this is important going into our future education model because we already have these classes and systems in place. And now we're just integrating them into this great experience where we're going to integrate your didactic and your experiential learning. So we're going to open the future education model this fall. And if you're not familiar with the future education model, I've included the link here. It's a program where you'll earn your master's degree as well as earn your verification statement to sit for the RD exam through your supervised practice hours. So again, our Future Education Model graduate program, which is recently accredited by ASCEND. So it's a competency-based education that integrates the classroom learning with hands-on supervised experiential learning activities. It really fosters work readiness, and it allows you as a student to provide a functional resume that you can really show the in-depth skills that you have learned, and then show that you're ready to enter the workforce. And again, it combines both the master's degree requirement and the verification to sit for the RD exam. So our mission is through innovative didactic and supervised experiential learning, graduates will develop professional skills to become entry-level registered dietitian nutritionists with a foundation in medical nutrition therapy and skills to promote health among diverse populations. Our first goal looks at cultural responsiveness, and our graduates will demonstrate competence in nutrition and dietetics knowledge and the ability to integrate culturally responsive practices to serve underrepresented populations. And this speaks both to the history of NCCU being a historically Black college and university, as well as to the diverse population that is located here in Durham, as well as North Carolina in general. Our second goal is focusing on your knowledge, and graduates will attain skills to become entry-level registered dietitian nutritionists in the profession. So I know this is a very busy slide, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what our course plan looks like. So the first 3 semesters, you do take 9 credits, and the final semester, you'll take 6 credits. We start out with focusing more on our didactic learning and preparation. With your statistics skills, biochemistry, nutrition education. And then in the second semester, we move into nutrition therapy, public health nutrition, and research in food and nutrition. And as part of public health nutrition, you will start your supervised practices rotations in the community. So that class is combined with the didactic and your supervised practice. And then we come back the next fall and we'll do nutrition through the life cycle and applied medical nutrition therapy, and our semester-long class, concepts in dietetics and nutrition practices, which ties into your supervised experiential learning. As I'll talk about a little bit, we have a wide variety of different rotation sites. So what you'll do in your supervised experiential learning is individualized to each student, what order you will complete your food service and your clinical and your WIC and your long-term care rotations. And I'll go into that a little bit more. So We also have that class in the spring, as well as your dietetic seminar. So in our classes in the second year, we are really focusing on the content, reviewing the content that will be on the RD exam, preparing you for your rotations, and we continue that throughout both semesters. We will come back and practice questions for different domains on the RD exam, and as well as review what you're doing at your sites and go over knowledge that can help you as you're in your supervised experiential learning. There are some options for electives. If you've taken some courses that qualify and have met our competencies for advanced nutrition education and nutrition therapy, particularly if you have a DPD verification, you may have met these already. And then you can see we have some more advanced electives that you can advance your competencies further in than the introductory level classes. And some of those include sports nutrition, pediatric nutrition, gerontological nutrition, and weight management, obesity, and diabetes. So our supervised experiential learning runs throughout the program. You'll complete your community rotations in the first year of the program. It's 7 weeks and includes 2 weeks at WIC. In the second year of the program, we'll complete the clinical rotations, which is 12 weeks, and that includes 2 weeks at long-term care and 5 weeks at food service. We have a lot of other activities we do together. We do seminars and workshops. We do require 15 hours of community service, and this aligns with NCCU's pillar, which is service to the community. And we do provide some of these hours for you, and our interns have a lot of opportunities to complete their other hours locally in their interest areas, and we're always happy to help you find more hours if you need it. They usually go well above the 15 hours that's required. We also attend professional meetings. 3 are required, and this is great for networking. Often we attend FNCE together. Of course, this has been different in the last couple of years because of COVID this year and next year, but we sometimes go together to that. We participate in DINE, which is Durham's Innovative Nutrition Education, and these are in elementary schools with the Durham Public Health Department. So we get to train with the registered dietitians at the Public Health Department, and then you get to do education sessions in the school, and this is lots of fun. They have this great pre-done education sessions that you get to present, and they're really fun. It's fun to work with the kids. We also have Eagle General Hospital, which is in our nursing department, and it looks just like a hospital. We do simulations there, as well as we do special instruction on diabetes education, sports nutrition, malnutrition, physical assessment, and you can see too, in some of the pictures are some of our students doing some malnutrition physical assessment practice. We also write letters to legislators to be involved in legislation and policy. And these are just some of the fun activities that we do together throughout the time. So as I mentioned, we're just opening the future education model. So some of this information I'm going to present now is through our history through the Dietetic Internship Program. We are going to be using the same sites and we have the same philosophy. So I don't foresee anything changing. If not, I expect it to improve. But I wanted to share with you what we've seen through our Dietetic Internship Program. We see a job placement rate of about 95% within 3 months and usually 100% within a year. We have a very active advisory board with over 25 members. We have over 34 active sites that you can do your rotations at. About 30%, sometimes higher, 30 to 40% of our sites hire our graduates. Our interns have a lifelong bond. They stay friends. They network with each other. They get together, well beyond their time here with us at Central. We get very high quality performance ratings by our interns, by graduates, our board members, and our reviewers. And we have a very competitive tuition. This tuition is for the full program, which is 2 years and 33 credits. For in-state, it's about $20,000. Out of state, it's about $43,000. This again is from our Dietetic Internship Program. Our past 7-year pass rate is 97%. We're frequently in the 100% range. We're still waiting to get our numbers back from our last year. Things have slowed down a little bit with COVID, but we'll have our new numbers up soon. But so we work really hard to get our students to pass this exam. And I really feel that when you have the masters incorporated into your supervised practice, that the your knowledge base for the RD exam will be so much stronger, and this will just help you even more so get through this exam and be successful. We have alumni from all over the country. We're always looking to add more states to our map, so please join us and know that you're well represented across the country here. Lisa Best, our faculty preceptor, is going to talk a little bit about our rotation sites.
Okay, thank you. So we feel so very fortunate to have the location that we are in the middle of North Carolina, as we have numerous hospitals that are either Duke affiliated or UNC hospital affiliated. So this is just a list of some of the hospitals locally that we are using: Duke Raleigh, Wake Med, Duke Regional, and New Hanover and Southeastern Regional. Some of them are located 2 to 3 hours from downtown Durham, but we find that all of our sites are just amazing in their quality of instruction because they are affiliated with either Duke or UNC hospitals, most of them. So we have, as Dr. Powell had said, you'll spend about 12 weeks on this rotation, and we do our best to try to match you with the hospital that has your area of interest. If you're interested in peds or oncology or renal or any other specialty, we do our best to try to make sure you get access to a hospital that would have those facilities for you. And some of our community slides are also, we're so proud of them, and we are always trying to increase our sites based on our interns' interests or areas of interest. If public health is your primary interest, there's the Durham County Health Department, the Harnett County Health Department, North Carolina State University SNAP Ed area, and then also Farmer Food Share and the Interfaith Food Shuttle are other great community-based rotation sites. In the last 3 or 4 years, we've noticed tremendous interest in sports nutrition, and we've added three to four new sites in sports nutrition, including the Duke Sports Nutrition Network. We're also affiliated with the UNC, University of North Carolina Sports Nutrition, that has offices in Chapel Hill and also UNC Wilmington, and then our NCCU Sports Nutrition, where they're doing some amazing studies in bod pods and looking at macronutrient analysis for athletes. If athletics is an area of interest, that we have just added some fabulous sites. We try our best to create the site that you have the most interest in. And we had an intern last year interested in baseball. So we added a food service rotation with the Greensboro Grasshoppers baseball team. Another student was interested in Endurance Edge, which is one of the climbing workout facilities, and she did her food service there. So we're very open to finding new sites as well if there is an interest that you have specifically in a specialized area. We've just added Veritas Collaborative for eating disorders, and Mother Athletes for niche markets of people wanting to work with athletes who are also mothers. And there's also integrative and functional specialists that we have, and UNC Wellness and Duke Diet and Fitness are also more training facilities and workout facilities where there's a lot of motivational interview and counseling, and areas that you can develop and learn and be job ready when you leave the site. And our food services is the last rotation. We're very blessed again to have tremendous variety of places to do food service. I mentioned the baseball team and workout facilities, but there's also a food service rotation at the Interfaith Food Shuttle, where they're developing meals to go for those that are especially hampered by COVID-19 at the moment. One of our favorite sites is SAS Institute because they are one of the most progressive industries for environmentally sensitive food care products, and they grow a lot of their own food. So that's a favorite site. Everyone loves that. There are several of the major hospitals have food service rotations, Durham Regional, Duke Raleigh, Rex Healthcare. And another very interesting site is a food service at the North Carolina Department of Corrections. In fact, one of the pictures there, the top picture on the right, is a food service meal that was done for the employees of the cafeterias at the Department of Corrections. Also, we have several retirement facilities that have food service operations. So again, I feel so lucky that we have such a variety of very high quality, very interesting sites to do food service.
So we have alumni who have jobs just kind of everywhere, from, wellness directors, clinical nutrition managers, food service managers. We have a lot of clinical dietitians in hospitals and long-term care, university instructors, DPD directors, directors of nutrition and wellness programs, physician assistants, event planners. We have some who go on to be a registered nurse, a lot of private practice, and we have a lot of leaders in our area, which is great to see. Our alumni is really thriving. So the question I get asked often with this future education model is like, what if I already have a master's degree? And we have a system in place where you can request an assessment of prior learning, because depending on what your master's degree was in, you may have met the competencies for some of our courses. If you already have a master's degree and you are approved to waive courses, then you can move into what we have called the FEM Dietetic Certificate Program. And there's a minimum of 15 credits required to complete the certificate program, including all of the supervised experiential learning hours and our other program requirements, such as community service. If you have a master's degree in nutrition, it is likely that you will meet the competencies for all of first year, and you may be able to complete the program in 2 semesters. If your degree is in another field, you may meet some of the course requirements, not others. And that's why we will meet before you start to figure out what courses can be waived and what you have to complete the program. Our general admission requirement is that you need a GPA above 3.0. And we will also look at particularly your DPD courses, how you performed in them, both the professional and science courses. A DPD verification statement is not required. However, if you have a DPD verification statement, it well prepares you to enter our program, and you'll have more choices on some more advanced electives because you've probably met some of our competencies already. And so a couple of our entry-level classes, we can let you take more advanced courses if you choose. So we do have prerequisite courses as listed here: biology, chemistry 1 and 2, or 1 semester of organic chemistry, anatomy and physiology, human nutrition, molecules and cell function or equivalent, sanitation safety course or ServSafe certification, food science with a lab preferred, and food service institutional management and organization or equivalent. You apply through our graduate school, so we do not use DICUS. We are, as I mentioned, we were just recently approved by ASEND, so we are getting our system approved at NCCU and all the application up. This is anticipated to be completed here in late April. You will be able to access it through our website as well as the graduate application system at NCCU. So this year, because of our recent approval, we will have rolling admissions through July 1st. In future years, we will have first round applications due on December 15th so that we can notify you in January, so that before DICUS starts, you would know if you have a spot. And then if we have remaining spots available, we will have rolling admissions through July 1st. The NCC graduate school application requires an application fee, which this year is $50, and a form, 2 letters of recommendation. I apologize, it's not on here. All your transcripts, your personal statement, and a resume. We will interview all competitive applicants. That can be done in person or via web, a web interview. And I have put here for you the graduate application site. As I mentioned, though, the applications won't be up until later this month. You feel free. My contact will be at the end of this presentation. You can always email me to be put on the list to be notified the moment that application is available. Oh, and here is my contact information. So this is our website for our master's program, and it will also include the Future Education Model graduate track. I'm again the director, and you can find my phone number and my email, which, feel free to email me and I can add you to our interest list for this year, or if you have any questions.
All right, thank you for that overview. I'm going to jump right into the 5 questions that I ask all programs that come on the podcast. And these questions were put together with the help of my students to make sure I was asking the questions that they really wanted the answers to. So my first question is, what is one thing in particular that you just really love to read when you're looking at personal statements?
I really want to see what makes you stand out as a candidate. What makes you different? What is your interest? Why are you interested in nutrition and what makes you different? I mean, it's really your chance to sell me on why you're a fantastic candidate. And so I really like it when students use that opportunity to tell me what's fabulous about you, because I'm sure there's so many great things that you have to share with me.
Well, sure. I love to see interns that show their flexibility, show their willingness to adapt to whatever situation, that show their areas that they feel they need improvement or areas that they feel that they're really good at. I think that helps us see how they might respond in a new situation. And one thing I see a lot is a lot of students don't put in there a lot of their applications everything that they've accomplished. So we definitely love to see people explain what they've done in areas that are specialized and unique.
All right. Well, my second question is about resumes. So true or false? An applicant's resume should be 1 page and 1 page only. Either way, why?
Me, I say false, because sometimes you have a lot more experience that you want to explain than will fit on 1 page. And I do like to see the explanations rather than just simple bullet points sometimes, but only if you have the information to share. Otherwise, I would keep it to 1 page. So, and not more than 2 pages, because after a while, my reviewers stop flipping through the pages. So kind of highlighting your most important activities and telling us a little bit about it, because we might not be familiar with the particular area or what your experience was.
Yeah, I would comment that the 1 page resume is kind of like last decade. I'm seeing much more that people are spending a little more time or putting a little more information. Although I would add that it's not as helpful to add all the courses that you've had that we can see in a transcript, but especially experiential learning or volunteering that you've done, or activities that add to your uniqueness or your talent that we might not have seen anywhere else.
All right. So my next question is, what is one or more things that an applicant may do? And this could be in communication with you before applying, in the application itself, maybe in the interview, things that they may do that would raise some red flags where you would think maybe this person isn't the best fit for our program.
I think for me, the most telling is the interview that we do. To me, that's really important because we have a very cooperative family kind of program. We want to see that you're going to fit in here, that you're going to be supportive. If we hear really offensive statements, it's just kind of a deal breaker. And unfortunately, they do happen. And I'd also say that as far as the interview is that, we're looking for people who can speak with preceptors when they're going to go out in sites. Some of our clinical sites do require some interviews, so we're looking for those skills. And beyond that, it's just, a complete application. I don't know, through our graduate school, it may be a little easier than the DICA system when we look at Dietetic Internship program applicants and they don't fill out sections. I mean, it's just, we can't, give them any points for that. We don't see it. I don't want to have to hunt down to find your volunteer experience. So if, you don't put it on your application, we just don't know it's there. That's kind of probably, I know sometimes students have done things that they're not showing me. And that's always frustrating, from my point of view, because I know that there's so much more to them than what they're putting on this piece of paper.
I would say one of the most important things is the ability to be flexible and to adapt and to be positive and optimistic no matter what is going on in the stressful environment. There's no question about it that these years can be very stressful with the new experiences and working and learning outside of your comfort zone. So I like to see that students have that positive, go get them, I'm going to give you 110% attitude. And so therefore, if I see the opposite of that, where I see efforts or situations where people act like they really didn't care or they didn't try very hard, those would be things that would be negatives.
All right. Well, my next question is, what is one aspect of the new future graduate program that you feel really makes it unique from the other new programs that are popping up?
I think one of the most unique things here at Central is that we have so many different rotation sites that everyone's not going to the same place, that we can really try to mold your experience to fit what you're interested in, as well as give you the full exposure across all the disciplines. And that, if you interested in a certain demographic, a certain size hospital, you want to see a big, busy hospital, or maybe you want a more laid back rural hospital, we have those options available. And so that we can really kind of try to tailor your experience to really prepare you for the field that you want to go into and to give you the best experience possible, as well as just coming in. The environment at NCCU is a very family-oriented, student-oriented university and program. And so that, we may be competitive to get into, but when you're here, you're family and you're family forever. And we all support each other. And I think that makes us very unique.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. I think she did a beautiful job of explaining that is exactly what we try to do, is create a very supportive, helpful environment where it's not only do we support the interns, but the interns support each other. We don't set up our situation so that the interns are ever in competition with each other for a site, so that there are plenty of sites to go around and organizational ways to help everybody get where they want to be. So we don't have that very competitive atmosphere inside the program. We want to support each other.
All right. Well, my last question of the 5 is a 2-part question. So the first part is, what are the 3 best adjectives, descriptors, or phrases that you feel best describes your program?
Okay. Well, so I'm going to repeat again, sort of, it's very supportive. I mean, we really foster that family, networking environment here at NCCU. We only send one intern to a site at a time, so you get individual attention. So that just helps us keep that supportive environment going, as well as a faculty, we're here to support the students. So we are a student-focused program. NCCU itself is a teaching university, and so it really puts teaching and students as one of the highest priorities. And so you'll see that throughout our program, that we're here. There's 2 of us, both here to support you in different ways to make you successful, as well as really get you ready for that RD exam. That's a very huge focus of us, and that's something else that makes us kind of unique, I find, is how much training we do to get you ready for that RD exam so you're well prepared when you finish the program. I also feel that we're very innovative, that we're looking for new ways to incorporate the didactic learning and the supervised practice in very exciting new ways. This year we added the Eagle General Hospital, which was a big hit. It just looks like a giant, hospital floor, and we could do simulations. They have the patients that talk to you. You can run through different scenarios. We plan to do interdisciplinary training with nursing students and speech pathology and other fields that we have here. And we're always looking for new ways to provide innovative training. We go lots of places. to do, malnutrition physical assessments, and we have experts come to us to do diabetes training with blood glucose monitoring. So we try to incorporate a lot of hands-on into the classwork, as well as then you go out on your supervised practice sites. And then as far as, when we're looking at our ideal candidates, we're looking for students who are flexible, because there's always changes happening in this field, and what's happening on sites. And so the more flexibility you have, the better experience you're going to have. We're looking for students who are ready to learn. You're coming here to be a learner, to gain the experience from the preceptors. We don't expect you to know everything, or you wouldn't have to come to us to be trained. So we really want you to be here to, kind of absorb all the information, ask the questions, learn as much as possible. And then an intern who's just ready to give 100%, because this is your chance to shine. When you go out on supervised practice, a lot of our interns students are hired from the sites. And so we say it's like a job interview. So kind of always give it your all. This is your year to experience everything and to really take advantage of all the opportunities that are offered to you as a student.
All right, Lisa, did you have any adjectives either about the program itself or maybe some about the ideal applicants that you would like to see?
No, I really think Dr. Powell covered our adjectives and what we are looking for. So again, I think flexibility is key, and the ability to give 110%, always be willing to go that extra mile for the patient care, for the community service, whatever it is they're doing. That's the ideal candidate, the one that is willing to go above and beyond.
All right. Well, I just have one last question. And I know this year has probably been very challenging because of COVID-19. Have there been any changes that you had to make temporarily that you actually enjoy and are working out well, and you think you're going to continue to integrate into the program as virtual aspects?
Well, one thing that I have noticed is on a lot of our community sites, almost all went to a virtual interaction mode due to COVID. And I think that has been a real plus this year in terms of the ability to have guest speakers come in from very far away that we normally wouldn't be able to have come because of the distance, and also sometimes because they're not actually on site for the 40 hours a week, you could do 1 or 2 rotations at a time so that you could actually get more exposure to different community environments that were areas of interest. And I think since we've jumped down that rabbit hole of always using or having a lot more access to the internet now, I think that is a door that has opened for us to really broaden and bring in expert speakers or presenters that we would not have been able to do before. So I'm very excited. I think this was one of our best years because of the ability for students to be able to connect with people all across the country. Now, our clinical sites have all been still live face-to-face, so those will continue to be that way. But I just think the addition of the internet has allowed us to expand exposure to dietitians and experts we would not have had before.
Yeah, I would agree that particularly in the courses, I think we're going to reap some of the benefit of everyone being more comfortable online. So we've had our online master's program, and I bring in guest lecturers as much as possible so we can have experts in the fields. But they have always a different level of comfort. I feel like the level of comfort across the board is much higher. And we get so many more people from all over the country willing to come in and guest lecture who normally we couldn't have because they aren't local. And so that just kind of increases the breadth of experience we can offer students. And I think that will continue even as we move more and more in person. And we did as much as possible this year. We held our medical nutrition therapy class in person because we felt like that was really important for training for rotations. And then we held other classes remote, and we discussed this with our interns. We really incorporate their opinion into how we run the program to adapt to these sort of situations so that we're kind of meeting them at their comfort level and making sure that they're trained. And so, it's definitely been an interesting year, but some great experiences have come out of it.
All right, perfect. Well, that was all the questions that I had. So to close us out for this episode, I would love for each of you to give us one last take-home message to potential applicants.
So the future education model at NCCU has just a lot to offer you. We have a lot of ways to meet your needs, whether you already have a master's degree or this is going to be your chance to get your master's degree, as well as sit for the RD exam. We have different pathways. We have different courses and specialty areas to offer you in courses, and a lot of different sites that you can choose from. And I think that is one of the best experiences, is that we have so many rotation sites that you can choose from to kind of explore your interest areas, as well as gain all the experience that you need from your supervised experiential learning.
And I would just add to that it is my personal goal as a faculty preceptor to make absolutely sure that you are getting as much of the experiences that you want as possible. We do try our very hardest, and we can't guarantee it all the time. Sometimes interviews with clinical sites don't go as well as people wanted them to, so they don't get the clinical site they wanted. But we try our very best to match you to as many of your first choices of rotation sites as you could possibly get. We want our students to get the experience that they want. So it's my personal goal to make that happen as much as I possibly can. So within the confines of, the world. But we love working with students. Dr. Powell and I are both on GroupMe chats with every class we've done. We're accessible 24/7. We do everything we can to try to help and assist and support our interns in being successful.
And I didn't emphasize this as much as I should have, but our master courses are online. So there is a lot of flexibility in the first year about where you're located. In the second year, we really want you here because we run some of our training courses in person, and our rotations are, of course, in the area. But our master's portion of the courses can be done through distance, and we can work with you as far as your first year supervised practice. So just wanted to add that as well.
And thank you, both of you, so much for being on this episode with me today. And for those at home who would like some more information on the program at North Carolina Central University, I've included the website link to their program in the description below this video. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an episode with another awesome dietetic internship.